Hey yo, what up, though? It's your boy streetcodernate, and I'm back here again. I think it's video 4 now. Yup, we are in the back end stage. We have ideated out our idea, we have designed it, we have created our repositories. Now it's time for us to create our business logic inside the code. It is time for us to take our idea and make it happen with Node.js backend code. The moment we all been waiting for real, for real. So honestly, without further ado, let's tap in. Okay, so what's the first thing that I think about when, getting this backend together? So first off, you need to understand that the backend, the purpose of the backend, there's a few purposes of the backend. But today I'm just talking to you about a couple of them. First purpose is that it will allow us to log in to accounts, let's say Instagram or whatnot. It allows us to log in to places like that securely without exposing our username and passwords. That's really good. Cool. The backend also allows us to crunch real hard data, to access databases, to just do a lot of different processes, hard work processes that the user, don't really see or recognize or even think that's happening in the background, hence the backend. Now, we, in a more general sense or in a more specific sense for this application, going back in a more general sense as well, the backend also serves data. Like, you probably heard of JSON. JSON is the way that we're sending data back and forth on the internet, whether it's an iPhone or a laptop or an Internet of Things device. Most likely, the type of data that they're sending back and forth is in the sense of JSON. Maybe XML, but 9 times out of 10 is JSON. And so our backend is responsible for sending JSON data to the front end and accepting JSON data from the front end as well. Its purpose also is to send the web pages to the requesting domain. And what do I mean by that? So there's going to be a domain, a browser. Let's go with a browser. There's going to be a browser that connects to our website. Let's say natebaker.me, right? It's going to be a browser that connects there, and they're going to ask for my index.html file. Well, when it connects to natebaker.me is a server. And so this server is listening, and it knows what to do when someone connects to it. And so the front end sends this GET request with the slash on it. And that slash means get me the home page, the index.html page. And so my natebaker.me server has some configuration there where it says that if someone connects to this server looking for the slash route using the get command, well, run these set of procedures. And so then that set of procedures is pretty much just go find the index.html file and send it to Nate, or send it back to the requesting browser. And so that's what happens. But, people can also request like /API/data/Nate. And so maybe that will pull up some API data for the user Nate. Something like that. So our backend is responsible for a lot of things that the user doesn't even understand that's happening. Like, the user just thinks the shit is happening magically, but what's happening is actually somebody wrote some code in the backend that's processing all of this stuff. And so today what we're going to do is create some routes. And when I think about this, the application and creating the routes, I first think about what does the user see when the app is first fired up, right? So we have an idea what our user is supposed to see when the app is first fired up. Let's see. Let me go over to this other slide. We have an idea what our user is supposed to see when the app is first fired up right here. This is the design. Right there. Cool. So we got the design, which it has the title on it, the description, the input box, and the button. So when the user goes to whatever the website name is they should see all of that information. Let's see what our users see, what a user will see if they navigated to our website right now. So let's tap in and come over here. And so we will have to start this website up, right? Go in here and go npm. Well, first I got to start the server, the database server right there. And then I got to start the npm run dev. Cool. Start it up. Let's go to the actual application. So it says at finish connecting to the database at localhost 444. So this is the domain and the port. So let's go check it out. We open up and it says it looks like you are trying to access. Oh wait, my bad. Okay, so that's where the database connected. All right, we actually want to connect to the actual application, not the database. So there we go. The application connects to the database. So what happens right now is that I don't know if you see it, but there's just some random data pretty much that's brought back when we connect to the slash route. As you see above, this is just the slash route localhost colon 54321 slash. And when we come here, all we see is this stuff. So this is not what we want to see. Therefore, we need to start figuring out how can we get what we want to see here. And so what do we actually want to see when we come to the slash route? Well, when we come to the slash route, all we pretty much want to see is that what we want to call that? We want to call that the home page. We just want to make sure that the home page is loaded. So right now we're just getting some data loading, but we want the home page to load. So what we need to do is go back to our backend server and configure. We need to configure a GET request app or a GET request route for our backend server. So how do we configure a GET request route for our backend server? Well, here I got this little app called, or I got this route file or folder, and inside of it is called landing. And so landing is for, I call it landing because it's like, landing page, whenever they land onto the website. So this is the slash, and this is why we're getting back this raw user data, because what it's doing is just connecting to the database and then printing this stuff out. But I realized I don't need the database for this project, so I can just go ahead and remove that code like that. Cool. So now we're not sending back no database code. Cool. But what we need to do is send back. We need to send back .send. We need to send back an HTML file. We need to send the HTML file, the index.html file for this project. So the way that we do that is we say res.sendFile. And so now we just tap into res.sendFile, and we got something. It's like path. We need to import the path. So we're gonna go const path equals require. We got path. Cool. So then we could come here and we just say send file path dots join, and we gonna join where we at, underscore dir name. So that's the directory, and then we're gonna join it with dot slash I want to say. Yep. So dot slash. Oh no, just one dot slash, and then we need to go. There's going to be a folder called public, and inside that folder there's going to be a folder called templates, and inside that folder there's going to be an index.html file. Cool. So what I need to do is go create inside of here, I need to create a folder called public, and inside that public folder I need to create another folder called templates. And while I'm at it, I might as well create another folder called CSS. Nope. Don't know what that just did. CSS. And one more folder called JS. So this is where our front end stuff is going to go, and it's called public because the front end code gets sent to the user. It's publicly seen. The back end code stays on the back end server. So this is a package pretty much that we end up sending to our front end. Okay, cool. So now that we got our basically our front end little structure, let's create some files up in here. So we'll go index.html. And we'll come into the HTML file, and we'll come here, and we'll say inside the documents, oops, and we'll make this called, what is this, Insta Scraper, like these. You want to know what's happening? Because I'm not explaining this. I already explained this stuff on the channel, so go check it out. I'm showing y'all how to do the whole process, following the process of the code. I'm not explaining y'all how to code. I did that already. Go check those videos out. I'm showing y'all how to do the whole 7-step process. And so what I'll do is create my backend, and in order to know that my backend is serving my front end file, I need to create a front end, obviously, or just a quick little front end file. So all I would just call this is, I'll say Insta Scraper or something like that. Cool. So that's just what I'm gonna do for the front end. Cool. I got that there. And so now if I come back to the landing, it says that I should be able to, if I come to this GET request, then it should send the file index.html. So let's see. Scraper. Oops. Let's see. Insta Scraper. Okay. Insta Scraper. All right, cool. So, or Insta Scraper right there. All right, cool. So we got the file. Now we got the front end to send the file. But let's make sure that the front end is actually working how the front end works. Because if we connect, let's say, let's come here. If we connect a CSS file, let's create one called styles.css. If we create a CSS file, and let's just put inside the CSS file, let's put a CSS reset real quick. I always use this CSS reset. You want to know what a CSS reset is? Check my videos out. Okay, I put that CSS reset, resetty. All right, and bada boom, bada bam. Cool. So that's my CSS reset. And what I want to do is add it into here. So I'll go link, and I'm going to link some CSS. And it's going to come from css/styles.css. Cool. Actually, it should be //css. Yep, there we go. css/styles.css. Bet. All right, bet. So now if I come over here, let's see if those basic styles are applied. Refresh. What you see is that those styles aren't applied. How do I know those styles aren't applied? Well, first, let me just go make this a H1 and then put that here and just move this up right here and save that. And then we go into the styles.css and say for all the H1s, let's make them the color red real quick, just to make sure that our HTML is being seen. And what you see is our color isn't being red. Why isn't our color turning red? Well, that's because our application doesn't know where our static directory is. Static directory is where our front end code is living. So we need to tell our application that our front end code lives inside of the public folder. So the way we do that is app.use, and we're gonna say, I think it's like express.static. Yup. Yeah, I think I could just say like express.static like that. Let me refresh. Nope. App.use. And then when I forget the full syntax, that's why you go use Google. Service static files. What is it? Express.use static. That's what it is. It's a function. Static, and I put it in public. And now when I refresh, I should see red. Let's get it. All right, bet. Cool. So we got our backend to serve our Insta Scraper index.html file. So cool. That's the first thing that the backend needs to do. The backend needs to, well, when the user comes to our application, the backend needs to serve that index.html file. We have successfully done that. Now, what else is the backend's purpose? Well, the backend, well, when the user clicks on, let's go back here. When you're not gonna go back. Okay, there we go. So when the user clicks on this button right here, after they put in some username right here, this button needs to send that username to the backend. And the backend, what the backend is going to do is going to process that username. It's going to connect pretty much to user. It's going to connect to Instagram. It's going to process that username, and then it's going to come back to us with some data. And now with this data, we're going to send that data to the front end. So we need to make a route for the front end to connect to when this button is clicked, so that it can send that data to the back end. So let's go do that at the back end. And we're going to come back over here and we say, so we're just going to do that in the landing folder file. I usually like to separate all my files and whatnot into like API. You know what? Let's just go ahead and /API it. Why not? So that's routes, and I'm going to go new folder, and it's going to be APIs. I'll go like that. And then inside the APIs, I'll create a new file called landing.js. So pretty much this is going to be all my API calls for the landing.js. That doesn't pertain to sending the page. Like these are all like the XHR, what do they call it? Like posts? Somebody help me out in the video. REST. These are all like the REST calls and whatnot. There we go. So we first need to import we need to bring in the application, right? So we first say const, and we call it a router, and the router is going to equal require express, and it's going to be .router. Oops. All right. So this is our router that we have, which is the router to the application. And with this router to the application, we can now configure the application with a GET request. So we can say, okay, that was supposed to be like that. Router dot get, and this is how we configure a GET request. But actually, it's not a GET request; it's a POST request. So router dot post. And what is and for the post request, we need the first thing is the path. So the path is /API/ let's call it find user data, or get user data. So when someone connects to our website, they have to connect to localhost. Well, right now, localhost :444/API/get user data in order for these set of procedures that I'm about to start writing to happen. So we pass in the callback, which is require or request, and response. Give it a function. All right, cool. So what we're gonna do here now is first let's figure out. So the front end is gonna send data to the back end, right? And so therefore that means that we are expecting some type of data to come back on the back end. The front end is going to give us some data. And so we need to be able to grab that data from the object. And that object is the request object right there. We need to be able to grab the data from there. The data from the front end lives inside of the request.body object. And so we can say, we're going to get the username. Get the username passed from the front end. Cool. And so the way that we do that is simple const, and we call it username, and we'll go rec.body.username. Cool. And that's simple as that. And if you got any other keys that you put in the front end, you just say dot whatever the key name is. So now we just got the username. And what do we want to do? We want to connect to Instagram, right? Well, we don't have a way to connect to Instagram yet. Hence APIs, or not hints, but APIs come in. There we go. So here we're going to bring in some APIs. We're going to use the Instagram Scraper API from online, man. Y'all got to tap in with, what's the word called? Y'all need to tap in with open source. If you are a developer and you're not really into open source, you kind of messing yourself up, because if you trying to reinvent the wheel, that's where I was stuck at. I was reinventing the wheel over and over and over again until I realized that these programmers that are blowing up and making a bunch of money and being recognized are using APIs in their application, and then they go back and understand the stuff. And some of them don't even understand most of the time. They just use the API and don't understand. But I feel you, if you want to understand the intricate, I'm gonna teach you how to understand the intricacies in this. But right now, as you're learning, start to use these APIs and get more familiar and make some dope shit. And so I'm going to teach y'all how to use APIs the proper way. So, I mean, almost on if you are a software engineer, I messed my head up. If you a software engineer, you need to be honestly looking up APIs at least once a day. Just like have some time where you 5 to 10 minutes a day, you seeing 2 new APIs. The amount of software out here that's coming out on a daily basis is crazy. You can make some dope shit just by connecting like 5 different APIs together with an Arduino or a website. And now you just look like you the dopest. Like, trust me, I did this. All right, so we here. All right, so let's look up the Instagram Scraper API. So Insta Scraper. I need to figure out how I can make that bigger. API. And we're gonna put npm because we're using Node. Okay, so they always gonna give you a few of them, and let's see what some of the good ones. They have Instagram Scraper -API. And so when I'm looking up APIs, as you just saw, I looked it up and I put API afterwards, and then I say whatever language I'm using, right? And so then npm is pretty big. It's gonna come up. It's a big repository of just different APIs you can use, right? And so this one is dope, and this is how we install it. So we're gonna copy that and come over here. But first, let's make sure that this is even going what we need it to do. So install Instagram. It's gonna get Will Smith, and it brings back Will Smith's data. Well, that's exactly what we need to do. Okay, so all right, cool. That was pretty simple, straightforward, I would say. They passed in. Yup. .user. So cool. So all we need to do is pretty much install this application, import the code right here, as you see, import that code, and then call this Instagram API like that. So let's get it. Cool. But let me make sure right here, get user data and post by scraping Instagram's user page without an API key or all auths. API key not required, not a registration. Cool. So we don't even need API key or auth. So now that we know what API we're going to use, let's connect to, or let's install that API to our current project, our current Node.js project by doing npm install like that. That will install it. Cool. 11 packages are looking. Nope, not that one. Added 3 packages from 3 contributors. Dope. Bet. Now that we got that inside of our code, let's figure out how to use it again. We go over here to import Instagram from over there. And so we gonna go do that in the landing as well. Like these. Oh, no. Cool. We're gonna export modules dot exports equal modules dot exports equals router. Cool. Bet. All right, cool. And then you got rec.res, yada yada. All right, so we just brought Instagram in, right? Cool. All right, looked at the wrong thing. We just brought Instagram in. Bet. Now that we got Instagram, we can go ahead and call on Instagram. And I know calling on Instagram is going to be an asynchronous process, so I'm going to make this an asynchronous function. Async, SY. I make this an asynchronous process like that, and therefore I can go ahead and go const data, because this is going to be the user data, equals, and I can go ahead and say Instagram and say dots. Oh wait, before I say Instagram, nope, Siri. Before I say Instagram, I'm gonna go with await dot Instagram, or await Instagram dot, and what it's supposed to be, dot user. Yep. And then we pass in the username, which will be what we got on line 6, username. Cool. We just got that. Now that's in the data, we should be able to console.log this data. Okay, let's see. So basically we got an application to connect to somebody's Instagram account without us even being logged in, and this is just going to give us the data right now. So let's see what this really looks like. But there's no front end to connect to our back end right now, right? There's no front end that will connect to our back end. So how are we going to test this? Well, I'm glad you asked that question. A way for us to test our REST APIs is, well, first, yeah, let's do that. The way for us to test our REST APIs is to create a file right here called test.rest. And before you can even create a test.rest file, you need the extension. So you come over to the extensions and you put REST. You can get this REST client right here. Let me zoom out a little bit. You can get this REST client that looks like this, and this helps you make REST like HTTP posts and GET requests and stuff like that. Oh, now I think about it, I should have kept that one open real quick. Because I need to see the example of a post request. Okay. And zoom out. Let's get the post request one. Yep, right here. Cool. Bet. All right, so this is how you make a post request. But I know I'm not making it to HTTPS. I'm making it to HTTP. And I know it's not example.com. It is localhost. And I know there's no .com actually. And it's :444. And it's slash. Well, let's just do the slash. What should come back with the slash? It should just be an HTML file, right? So let's make this a get one. Get. And let's see. Bet. And now I can send this request. It looks like you are trying to access MongoDB. Oh wait, it's not 444. Ah, my bad. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, bet. And now send the request. Bet. And what looks back, we get our Insta scraper right over there. All right, cool. So now if we connect to our other one, where is it at? That's landing. And then we got, damn file. Oh, this one. Yeah, my bad. Yeah, this is the right file. Okay, cool. So if we connect to /API/get user data, let's see what happens. Well, first, in order to connect there, we need to first pass some data in the body, right? So let's go over to our REST. In order to pass a body, this is how we pass the body, but we gotta change this to post, right? And then application JSON, cool. And we have a field called username. So wherever the name is, right there, and then we'll put let's just do Nate, streetcodernate. Cool. And then we don't need time. So now I should be able to send this to my backend server. Let's see what happens. So send request. It says 404. 404 meaning that it couldn't find the actual request. So why couldn't it find a request? Let's check that out real quick. If I come to my server.js file, I got server.js and it says use routes. Well, I know I got my routes. And so what is routes? Well, routes connects to routes/landing. it didn't say anything about routes or /route/API/landing. So we never actually connected our new route. So we need to go and grab that new route. I already exported the router right there. So I can come back to the server and go, let's just put here and put API routes, and then that would be /routes/API/landing like that. And then we can tell the app to use the API routes as well. Cool. Now we should be able to we should be connected. Let's see. Connection was rejected. Either the requested service isn't running. Did I mess something up? Let's see. Module not found. Cannot find ./routes/API because it's /APIs. My bad, y'all. Everybody make mistakes. Let's see. It's in landing. No, it's in server. Okay. APIs like that. Cool. Yep. Everybody make the mistakes. It's called debugging. All right, on to the next window. Let's see. Fuck. Cannot use the import. Did I say import? Where's the import at? Cannot use the import. Shoot. Okay. Let's see what happened. Oh, they use import. I see. So we need to say const like that equals require something like that. Bet. Dope. Got it. All right. So now we got to connect using the test, right? Chia. Let's see if it works. Come on. 404. We got another 404. How we get a 404 this time? Oh, okay. Because there's no post. Because we got to go /API/get user info. I think that's what it was called. And this is the point of testing, y'all. Or get user data. And that's what the point of going back and checking too. Get user data. Now we should be straight. My bad, I'm working on a small screen. All right, cool. Save it. And we're gonna run it. You know what? I don't think I sent the data to the front end. Let's see. Unhandled promise, type error, cannot read property, username of undefined. Oh yeah. Great error to have. So we never told our code to use some shit. It's supposed to be using none of them here actually. Let's just go ahead and say a res.send or res.json. And we go JSON the data back. Cool. But we need to, what was the error? Oh yeah, so we need to be able to extract our JSON out of the front end. So we need this thing called a body parser. But I think Express, I think Express has a body parser already. Body parser, Express. Yeah, right there. And we just gonna go ahead and do, I thought it was like express.use. That's why you gotta do your research. All right, here we go. Express.use, express.bodyParser. That's the one I was looking for. Cool. And then we come over to server. And we're going to put that right here. Maybe I got to use this up here. Yeah. All right. Now we should be able to. dot use, I said dot body parser. That should be straight. Yeah, we're gonna check it out. Let's see. So refresh, and then we come in, or save, and then we come over to the test, and we about to run a test. And we about to send it. The connection was rejected. Let's see why. Let's see, is no longer bundled with Express. Okay, so I need to install body parser. npm install body parser. Dash save. Cool. Okay, so the Express body parser is deprecated, is what it looks like. So yeah. So come up here and we're gonna require the body parser, and then we can use the body parser now by saying body parser dot JSON. Like that. All right. Pretty sure that's how we do that one. Dot use body parser dot JSON. Cool. Did it. Bet. Whew. Bug fixes. Let's get them though. All right. So now we can go ls. All right. Now we can not ls it, but we should. That should be up and running. Cool. And now we should be able to connect. Oops. Wrong thing. 400 bad requests. So what ended up happening? Oh, right here. Got a comma up in there. Man, this is why we test is like freaking. It's fucking. It's a bunch. It's a bunch of shit, y'all. There we go. I got a 200 back. What I get back, I got some data back from my actual Instagram account. Y'all saw that I did not log into Instagram one, not at all. And so honestly, this is the application. The application is honestly done. Like if I'm being for real, the application is done. But you see my post and everything. But like users don't want to see this. Like this is gross for a user. So what I need to do now is be able to send this data, which I already did. I sent it to the front end, but there's no front end to catch it. So now we need a front end for our users to be able to see this data and to be able to interact with the whole application and to be able to put, the username in. You see, we put the username in right here, and then I got the data back. We need a place to put the username in for the front end, and then we also need a place for the data to come back so that we can see it and make it look cute. So that's what we're going to do in this next video when we connect the front end to this back end. I'll see y'all then. Peace.